Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the sense organs or receptors in Amphioxus. Amphioxus consists of various types of simple sense organs. Among them, the first is the photoreceptors, or these are called as eye spots or ocelli. These eye spots or ocelli, these are like this, and these are very similar to the structure of eye in the mammals. These are light sensitive organs, and these are distributed along the ventrolateral walls of the central canal of the entire nerve cord, and these occur in definite tracts, but their orientation is not same on the opposite side nor uniform along the length of the nerve cord. If you observe the structure of these eye spots, that is this is the arrangement of the eye spot in the these A, B and the C. Here you can observe the three eye spots or the ocelli. In this position you can observe the two eye spot opposing to each other, and these are the what one is inverted to the one having the invert position of the other. That is, see that this type of the arrangement of the photoreceptor, it is present in the anterior region. Then in the middle region of the body, such type of the arrangement of the eye spot is there, and in posterior part, such type of the arrangement of the eye spot is there. If you observe the structure of the eye spot or the photoreceptor, each eye spot consists of a single large cell. This is a single large cell which this eye spot consists of. And the cell contains a cap of blackish brown pigment in a cup-shaped area. The cell possesses on it there is a pigmented cap, and below this pigmented cap lies the striated apical border, below which the cytoplasm forms irregular photoreceptive membrane. This is a cytoplasmic mass which is a lens-like, which forms this uh, photoreceptive membrane, and this that acts as a what, the lens. The cell gives off a single sense fiber, or that we called it as a nerve fiber. The functioning of eye spot is not known in detail, but due to their asymmetrical arrangement, the animal swims in a spiral manner. So this is the first photoreceptor or the receptor in the Amphioxus. Then second is a cerebral eye or the cephalic pigment spot, or that we called it as a macula. As it is known as a cerebral eye, that is toward the anterior end. It is a large pigmented spot in the anterior wall of the cerebral vesicle. It consists of a collection of eye spots, but they lack lens and are not light sensitive. It is actually prevents the light from penetrating vertically, and thus protects the eye spots from direct frontal light. It probably acts as a thermoreceptor or the temperature receptors. Then third organ is a infundibular organ. This is a infundibular organ in Amphioxus, and it is situated at the floor of the cerebral vesicle. It is named infundibular organ due to its homology with the infundibulum of the vertebrate brain. It is composed of these tall columnar cells along with the what, the sensory hairs, or that we called it as a cilia, which beat in opposite direction to those of the rest of the vesicle. It is a site of origin of the fine Resner's fiber, which is a thread of non-cellular material. It runs through the center of the central canal of the neurosynapse. It terminates in a sac at the posterior end of the spinal cord. The cells of this organ contain material that is similar to neurosecretory material found in the fibers of the hypophyseal tracts of the vertebrates. And so it is called as a infundibular organ. The infundibular organ probably acts as a gravity or the pressure receptor, originator of the nerve fiber, and it is a neurosecretory in function like in the higher vertebrates. So this comprises of the tall columnar cell having the nerve fibers at the end, and these having the what, the sensory hairs or the sensory bases, and this is a part of the cerebral vesicle, and this part it is showing the homology with the infundibulum of the brain of the higher vertebrates. So this organ it is called as a infundibular organ. Then fourth one is Colica spit. It is a small, narrow, ciliated ectodermal depression above the anterior end of the cerebral vesicle. It opens externally on the left side of the snout. It lacks sensory cells. It was once thought to be an organ of smell. Its position corresponds with the single nostril of the cyclostomes, and due to this reason, it is sometimes called it as an olfactory pit. It makes the position of the neuropore through which the cerebral vesicle opens to outside in the larval condition. So this is a colica or about the colica spit. Then the few cells, that is the sensory cells are there. These are the receptors, and these are found scattered through the entire epidermis of the body, and these are particularly abundant on the dorsal surface of the body. These are tall cells. Each sensory cells bear a short hair-like sensory process which protrudes through the cuticle. This one is a cuticle, and this sensory hair protrudes out through the cuticle. Its lower end remains connected with the nerve fiber, and these are tactile in nature. Some of these cells test the nature of the sand in which the animal burrows. Amphioxus is known to avoid the sand that are too fine. So this is the function of the sensory cells which are spread abundant on the dorsal surface of the body of the Amphioxus. Then the sensory papillae is the sixth one. The group of sensory cells form the papillae on the velar tentacles and oral cirri, and the sensory papillae of velar tentacles are true chemoreceptors and sensitive to touch. Oral cirri are sensitive to touch only. Then next organ, that is a Hashic groove and Hashic pit, which are present in the roof of the oral hood, and they may be also sensory. And the last organ, that is a free nerve endings. In addition to above mentioned exteroreceptor sense organs, there are some enteroreceptors also which are within the body, and these are in the form of the sensory nerve endings in the muscles, and these are sensitive to internal stimuli like contraction of the muscles, and these are called as a proprioceptors. So these are the eight what sensory organs that we have discussed. One is a eye spot or ocelli or photoreceptor. Then second is a cerebral eye or cephalic pigment spot, or that we call it as a macula, which is a thermoreceptor. Third one is a infundibular organ, which shows the homology with the infundibulum of the brain of the vertebrate, which is a neurosecretory in function having the tall columnar cells and the sensory hairs. Then the colicar pit, it is the present toward the snout, and it is showing the homology with the what? The organ of the smell or the organ of the smelling, and it shows the homology with the nostril of the single nostril of the cyclostomes. Then the sensory hair cells, these are present abundant on the dorsal surface and having the sensory hairs which protrude out through the what? Cuticle. And The sensory papillae has shake groove and free nerve endings. Thank you.